Thanks, Mags. Now, I'm outside with our futurist, Tim Longhurst, and a Carrera 911. Now, Tim has promised me that he will explain how I could be driving this to work tomorrow without actually owning it for next to nothing. Is this true?
Yeah, so this is a big trend, and basically what we've got is thousands of Aussies renting cars from each other and all sorts of things. But you can rent this through Drive My Car Rentals for $180 a day.
So just explain to me, you go onto the website, you decide I want to drive a 911.
Yep.
How much does it actually cost? And who owns this car?
So basically an Aussie owns this car. It's worth, if you bought it new, it'd be over $300,000, but you can rent it by the day for $180. And we're seeing all sorts of cars that there are 22,000 members of that website, and people are basically realising, look, I've got a car in a garage, I'm not driving it as much as I thought I would, I can rent it out to someone else and get them to help pay for the car.
But why would I want to rent it? Like what?
Well, because owning is a bit of a sucker's game, Andrew. What we're starting to realise, Australia has some of the highest consumer debt in the world. We've got houses, like holiday houses that we're not always in. We've got cars that we're not always driving, and it's really inefficient.
Now, if I own this $300,000 car and I rent it, I have no idea who's getting in my car. What if it's someone with a BO problem or some kind of personal hygiene's an issue? Why would I want to rent my car out to them?
Because they're helping you pay for your car. I mean, it might have otherwise been in the garage, and now someone else is helping pay off your lease.
I'm not convinced. If I'm spending $380 on a car,
okay, well maybe that's not for you. What else is there? Well, people are renting out their houses or spare rooms. There are lots of us who have, for example, a holiday house or a spare room in the house. Last week I was in Melbourne, and I stayed in a beautiful house with a Melbourne couple. It was a gorgeous five-bedroom house. They were there, and this is happening all over the world. But in Australia,
There's a name for that.
No, they were lovely. I would much rather stay in a house in inner city Melbourne.
I'm thinking more on their side, Tim.
Well,
a bit creepy having a complete stranger staying in their house.
Well, look, there's all sorts of safeguards in place, but this is a massive trend around the world because what we find is hotels are really impersonal. We've got a lot of Australians are feeling isolated when they stay in a hotel, whereas if you stay with a couple or stay with a family, then there's a bit of community there.
And you were saying that Ashton Kutcher is getting behind this whole trend.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher's invested millions in this website, which is called Airbnb. And you can check that website out and you can see amazing houses all over Australia that Aussies are letting complete strangers come and stay in. And on our side, we get to stay in them for for really, quite cheap compared with a hotel. And from the owner's side, we're helping pay their mortgage.
Yeah, I don't necessarily trust Ashton Kutcher. Paul, you've got a question for Tim?
I just hate this so much. Let's go back to the car, Tim. Why would anyone spend $300,000 on a car and let any pill for $180 take it and hoon around in it for the day? That just doesn't add up.
Yeah, well, I asked the same question. It is quite a surprise. So I could just jump into this car now.
Yep.
Do I have to give any kind of ID?
Of course you do. All the basics are taken care of. You can rest assured you'll be insured. See, so you've got renting from. So there's the keys to the Porsche. So you can rent that from. You can rent that from another Aussie who will basically let you have that. Or you can have a key like this. This is from GoGet, and there are hundreds of cars around Australia. And if you've got that in your pocket, if you see one you'd like to drive, you can book it on your mobile and drive away straight away.
Right. And this is going to take off this year. That's what you're telling us.
Absolutely, it's huge, and it will only get bigger because owning is for suckers. If you can rent and only have the car, or only have the house when you need it, it's better for your hip pocket. And you can have a ski chalet in Thredbo, you can have a
Porsche
holiday house, a Porsche, but only pay for it when you need it.
I'm not convinced, but it's interesting. Tim, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Andrew.
The girls down at the Circle, what do you guys got on the show today? Do you want a Porsche?